Hi guys, and welcome back to Archie Hamilton Racing and to another video where today you join me where I'm out and about in the RS3 for what is going to be, well, probably not the one I expected to make. As you can probably see from the title of the video, I bought my first property. It was all really exciting stuff, and it was, yeah, something which I was so looking forward to. And there is a slight drama which has hit us along the way, and on this channel what I like to do is keep you guys fully updated with everything going on, very much in my personal life to everything else. And the house was a big moment in my life, so I'm going to talk to you all about it very shortly. But first things first, is a lovely evening today in Richmond Park, and so I've decided today to use the RS3. I'm clocking up miles like you wouldn't believe, closing in on 10,000 miles. When we do hit 10,000 miles, I'll do a bit of an update for you guys, so you can well, get my true thoughts about it after 10,000 miles. It might be one of the highest mileage RS3s which is around, and considering I live in London, it's a bit crazy that it's approaching 10,000 miles, and I don't plan to sell it anytime soon. I know you probably think, oh, he always says this, and then he goes and sells it. Well, to be honest with you, at the moment I actually don't really want to sell it. I love it, and for miles it is perfect. And there will actually be, coming soon, a personalised plate going on the car. There is something which I've purchased, and yeah, there's going to be another number plate, because obviously we know the number plate situation on my end, but we're going to get a number plate on this car very shortly. This car is a little bit dirty, but I do like to keep my cars cleaned. And if you haven't seen before, I've spoken to you guys about the guys at Dropless. They're legends. They come to your house, they sort it out, they will clean your car. And considering there is now a hose pipe ban, you need to get in touch with Dropless, because they honestly are a game changer. They come to your house, forever growing, London, Manchester, Bath. And they don't just do washing, they do maintenance as well. And considering this car, there is a scratch which is around here, my problem, by resting my car, my bike on my car. Hello everybody. So yeah, they will come out and they'll fix that. So not only do they do the washing of your car, your cleaning, they do fixing, repairs, maintenance, you name it as well. So anyway, what we need to do is we need to jump in the car, have a chat to you guys. I'm going to talk to you all about the process of the property, how it all happened, and where we are with it right now, with this news which I have to deliver. Okay, let's get chatting. We're going to do a quick chat because I like talking about property, and I feel after this whole process I actually know quite a lot about property. Genuinely, I feel that it's been 6 months of just craziness that I genuinely feel I know quite a lot about it. So let's get started. So first things first, what happened is I used a company called Bamford Mortgages. So they made it all so simple for me to get a mortgage in principle, get my offer, everything. And they basically worked out on how much money I earn to how much money I could borrow. They made this thing very simple, and it was like, well, go and find something that you want to buy and we'll make it happen. They're so good, and I've dealt with mortgage companies in the past, and some of them have been a complete nightmare that put me off the whole process. So this has been very seamless. So this is nothing to do with the mortgage company. If you are interested in getting a mortgage, make sure you get in touch with Bamford Mortgages. They will look at your whole situation and they will basically say what you can borrow, and you can probably end up getting a dream house which you might not have been able to do before. So once I got my offer, the first things first was evaluation. That's basically what happens after you get the offer. The bank sends someone round to value the property. Fingers crossed the property is still the same as what it's valued at. So for example, let's say the property is £500,000. If the bank value it as good, then you don't need to put any more money in. If they value it at £480,000, you need to put in the difference, or you need to haggle the seller's side on that side. But no, everything came back on that front, and that was good. So nothing wrong with that side. See, I know about my mortgages now. So that was all good. After that, it goes on to solicitors. So this is the process which has got nothing to do with your broker. You get solicitors, and then they sort the process out from there, in terms of dealing with the seller's solicitors and also the estate agent, blah blah. And then that was the process which I was going through. I've been buying a property in London which is a flat, which is a leasehold. Okay, so a leasehold basically means you're not really you're not the owner of the building. You own your property, but you're not the owner of the building. Makes things a little bit more complicated. If it's a house, they basically go, yeah, we value that, cool, job done, don't need any more docs, you're in. On a leasehold, it gets complicated because there's management companies. The management companies deal with so many different properties, it's ridiculous, and they are the people that you pay service charge to, which could be, let's say, 3-4k a year to mow your lawn, or it could be, yeah. And this property had 2 management companies. So it basically took 3 months to get a reply to getting building insurance. That's how long it takes. You send an inquiry and they all come in packs. So you get like a pack which has insurance and this and service charge and whatever. And then you have another pack which might be for something else. And that process just took a long time. Like, if you're out there thinking about buying a flat, you are gonna have a nightmare. But anyway, you know when you're going into it. So that was all that. And then this property itself, I knew that a few parts of the building were getting sort of redone. A few different works were going on, but nothing to the point where I was panicked, because the estate agent was always like, no, it's fine, everything's fine, we have proof that it's fine. And to be honest with you, I saw there was proof that everything was going to be okay. So I was like, it's fine, it's fine, I've got it at a good price, everything's good, what could possibly go wrong? Well, considering my offer was accepted on the property in March and I got my official offer in April from the bank, I had still not completed about 4 months ago, or sorry, exchanged, let's say. And I was starting to get a little bit concerned. It was one thing after the next, things were going back and forth and everything else. And we were getting to the point where we were getting close to exchanging, but I hadn't exchanged. And the seller at this moment has moved out. So I was due to move in on the 8th of August and I hadn't. I was like, something is not right. Anyway, so just before that, when I knew something wasn't right, my solicitors, who basically, they act on behalf of you and they are just making sure what you buy protects you, but also protects the bank, because the bank are the ones lending you a hell of a lot of money, and they need to make sure that both your interests are, you know, they've got your best interests at heart, and they're trying to protect you, basically, that you don't buy something that you can't sell and something that's not going to fall down. So my solicitor, we were talking a lot, and they said, oh, are you aware of certain works which are going on? And I was like, I'm aware, but I've been told everything's getting sorted. And we had a few letters, but they were dated a little bit older, blah, blah, blah. They were like, well, what we do need to do is we have to let the bank know that these works are going on. Well, that's fine. So it kicked the problem further down the road. Things were happening slower and slower and slower, and we weren't getting what we needed from the seller side, and it was meaning that it was slowing up my side. So I couldn't complete until we got the right documents to complete. I was in a really, really tricky situation of what do you do? How long do you go? And with a mortgage offer, see, I know about mortgages, you have 6 months. So a 6-month period of when your offer lasts, okay? So that's by the moment you get your offer in April, the bank will say you've got 6 months to complete. Here's your offer. Your interest rate is 2.6% on a 5-year fixed deal, which basically means you're locked in for 5 years, but you're paying that 2.6% for 5 years, and that does not change. Whereas if you went for a 2-year fixed deal, you basically might get it a little bit cheaper, let's say 2.3%. Mortgage rates have risen, so your mortgage, let's say, might be, let's say it was £1,000, it might be 800 quid instead of £1,000 if it's 5 years, but you risk interest rates going up, and then you end up paying more money when you come to renew your mortgage in 2 years' time. Does that make sense? You might get it cheaper, but it might go higher, but you take the risk. But I chose to go for the 5-year fixed, because I'm like, well, I want to lock in for 5 years. I don't want to move for 5 years. I move every 5 minutes. I'm a bit of a nightmare. Let's just stay where we are. Anyway, so that's the thing you do. And I've been getting concerned because I'm going, well, I don't want to miss the 6-month boat, because if I miss the 6-month boat, and for argument's sake, £1,000, that's not how much my mortgage is, but whatever. If I miss the boat, interest rates now have jumped from 2.6 to, on a 5-year fix, 3.9, I believe. It's something like that. which basically means, let's say you're paying £1,000, you're now paying 1,500 quid. So you're paying £500 a month more for 5 years. If you add that up, it's probably like 4 grand a year, 5 grand a year for 5 years. Well, it's 30 grand, isn't it? I mean, it's a hell of a lot of money. So I've been getting a little bit nervous, shall we say, all right, on that side. So then people were telling me in property, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And I still was like, no, it will happen, it will happen. And in the end, I have had to pull out of the sale. I've had to literally pull out of the sale because my mortgage offer is running out, and it literally stalled. The whole thing collapsed because it just came to a dead nothing. So I'm like, what do I do? I mean, I could easily wait and let the 6 months run out, but then I'm gonna have to go and find somewhere else, and then I'm still gonna be paying ridiculous amounts of money to borrow that money, and I'm not getting the answer. And it's been 6-7 months without exchanging. It's mental. It's been the most stressful period I've ever had. Like, absolutely, like checking my emails every 2 minutes, doing everything, and not getting any answers of the whole thing, because management companies take forever, years to reply, and by the time you've even got anywhere, it's weeks. And my solicitors are mega. They're on it, and they found things that, you know, some solicitors maybe wouldn't have found. But that's the situation I've had to be in. So now I've had to pull the sale, which I just did not want to do because it was like my dream place. And when I mean dream place, I was like buzzing about that place. So I've had to pull it to then find somewhere else before that period expires. And I have options, and there's somewhere which I am very, very excited about. Hopefully we'll all be fine. Still in London. I want to base myself in London because that's where I want to be. My friends, I want to be around friends, and that friends, like, that's what I want to be around. This, you know, with everything else that's gone on in my life. And London is crazy money, like crazy money. And if I was going to buy a house, probably more money. And I like flats, so I want to be in a flat. So this is basically what's happened. I'm in a situation now where I have to find somewhere else after 6 months. And I genuinely reckon I was 1 week from exchanging, but it might not have been 1 week. Exchanging and completing and getting the keys. And considering, by the way, this is how far down the line I was. I sent all the money, the 15% of the house price, which is a lot more than, it's a lot more than £500,000 to my solicitor. That's how far down the line we were. To the point of, at that moment, you're like, I'm in. Everything's all right. To the point I've pulled it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you updated for the next stage of getting the property. And what I do want to do is I want to get Seb from Bamford Mortgages on the channel, and I want to talk more about it, about interest-only mortgages, buy-to-lets, everything, because I am going to be buying a few different properties. I want to have like 4 or 5 ideally. Some that I let, some that I live in, or one that I live in. And I want to document that a little bit more. And fingers crossed, everybody, after all of this, we can get the property. All right? I've got my eyes set on one, and if that's the one I get, well, the reveal video, it ain't gonna be funny. It's gonna be a party. Genuinely, on this whole process, as stressful as it's been, I feel like everything happens for a reason. Maybe that was not meant to be. The next place was hopefully meant to be. And it's just taught me a massive life lesson on mortgages, houses, everything, leaseholds, freeholds, you name it. And I've actually come out a much more educated person. I feel like really educated by the whole thing. So I pray that my dad's looking down on me and he gets me in this new place, because I need it. Because not only have I made good friends with Seb, James always talks about it, Tom always talks about property as well, and I feel that I feel like I love it. I genuinely love it. As much as it stressed me out and given me sleepless nights, I actually love it. So anyway, that's the story. It's mental, but we're gonna find a solution, and I wanted to talk to you guys because you are part of the journey and we need to get that place which I want. All right, so fingers crossed. There we go, I've just jumped out and, well, I'm currently on a road looking at amazing houses out in Richmond, dreaming. None of these could possibly, I mean, I just took a thumbnail outside of that one, but that's not my one. I wish it was my one. Yeah, it's, well, the hunt is now to find the next place. It doesn't stop because, like I said, I got a mortgage offer, so I just go straight into the next place. And when I found the next place, you guys are going to be the first to know, and I'll be giving you a tour and I'll be doing everything. And I do want to show the full process of it all, of moving in and getting the keys and everything. But let's get there first, and fingers crossed we can do it this time around. What a process. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Make sure as well you check out Bamford Mortgages down below. Check them out. Don't forget to subscribe already. Get your comments. I want to hear from you.
You came with a warning. I should have seen